Hi Christine, Kevin. I'm here at 254 Paula Court in Martinez, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,355 square feet, built in 1963. So it's raining a little bit, so unfortunately I probably won't be able to take the best footage of outside, but I'm going to do my best. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, this is a 360-degree video, so what that means is at any point you can look up, down, left, and right, dragging your cursor across the screen. Oftentimes I talk fast and walk fast, so to get a better view of any angle, you can pause the video and then look in all directions and see all the angles. At first it takes a little time to get used to, but this is the closest thing to actually being here. So this is a nice property. I'm not sure if you've ever referenced this, but I would consider this the La Frutinez Hill, so Lafayette and Martinez. This is in a court, so you're going to have a bit more privacy and safety when Kinsley grows up, not having to worry about too many cars coming through here, so that's good. Overall, this looks like there's been a decent amount of work to the home, and that includes both the exterior, so landscaping, as you can see here, nice and clean, and then inside the house. Right off the bat, it's nice that you have a covered little outdoor area here in the front. The yard is pretty big in the back, so you got a couple different outdoor areas, outdoor living areas. So generally what I like to do is in these videos, I pretty much call out some of the things that you wouldn't see in pictures, and then also red flags. Ooh, it's coming down pretty hard now. But the first thing just to notice is that there's some pretty significant cracks here in the front. Now this isn't going to be abnormal for this area. You can see there's a lot of cracks in the driveway, which is typical, as well as in the garage. But when you see cracks like this, often that just means that there was some movement or settlement issues, potentially, not always the case. Sometimes there will be some settling for any house, especially if this is newer concrete. At some point it probably settled a bit, but it's better to not have cracks and to see them, but we'll look for sloping in floors and other cracks that you see in the house. And over time you'll get a sense on how I describe certain things, but for cracks, you never want to see anything diagonal. Cracks that are vertical or horizontal are okay, because generally that just means it's following a seam. And this is something somewhat minor, as you can see right there, so that's not bad. But again, you would much rather see them straight line than horizontal, straight line, either vertical or horizontal versus diagonal, and that just means, diagonal means that there's shifting happening, which is not good. Okay, so starting off, what's nice, even though this is a little over 1,300 square feet, usually you're going to sacrifice in terms of living areas versus bedrooms, and in this case it's surprising that there's separation between a living room and a family room, which we'll get to. So this is the living room. When it's this small, usually they combo it, so you kind of have one living area that has a family room and a dining room, in this case, or you'll have no living room. In this case, you actually have both. So as I get to the other rooms, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But a lot of work has been done, so good. I know this is your style, but the wainscoting on the walls, crown molding up on top, looks like new paint. This is staged, so it's a vacant home, which is why I was able to take this video fairly easily and quickly. Sometimes if it's in the future, if we look at homes or you want me to record a video and it's occupied, sometimes a little challenging to get in there when there's people living in the home, and sometimes they get weirded out by recordings, but in this case it's easy because it's vacant. Okay, so right off the entrance to the right, you've got the living room. You have some hardwood floors on this. I would just call this the main level. Those are drop down, it's okay that they have a step here, but you know, it's good that there's you can see there's a transition from hardwood to carpet, so people aren't gonna like, you know, fall into the second floor. That happens at our house where the pool room. Sometimes people don't see that step, so that's good. And then moving into the kitchen. Again, new backsplash tiling. These look fairly new, but again, this is built in the 60s, so all this has been updated at some point. Let's see, yep. Maybe with the exception of the cabinets, but the cabinet's got a fresh coat of white paint. It's amazing what paint can do to make things look newer. But you know, not the most countertop space in this kitchen. Let's see, you probably could do, no, a little island would be a little too tight in here. But you got the new sink and then a new faucet in the kitchen, so that's good. Alright, so that's the kitchen, and then I was already over here, but just to talk through it. So here we have the family room. So this is what I mean. With a home this size, usually you won't see both a family room and a living area room. But here on the dining, you kind of got a combo, right? Because there's no real formal dining room. So you have this family / dining room here on this lower step or lower level. So this is on a concrete slab on the bottom here, and then there's probably going to be a little crawl space above this step. So if you did want to rearrange and do things, you know, it's going to be a lot easier to do if you were to extend out the home, either in that direction. Unfortunately, the garage, so you couldn't go that way, but if you wanted to move plumbing around, it's good to have a crawl space to do that. Okay, so let's just go take a peek at the garage. Okay, so they're doing some work here, and I already kind of took a look around everything, so I kind of know what they're working on. They're working on some drainage issues, because you can see it's raining hard right now, and water is coming underneath that door. And this is what I was talking about earlier in terms of cracks. Now this is, you got a long crack coming this way, so there is some movement in the house. And disclosures will, oftentimes if they did a home inspection, there should be some notes on the foundation. This is again a concrete slab on this floor. But you can just see, let's see, this door right here. Do you see that? You see how the door is kind of slanted? That's usually an indicator when you look at door frames, if doors are hard to open or close, that there's been some movement, so the house is shifted. Again, not terribly uncommon for being in the hills and just general this area. Lafayette, Martinez, even Pleasant Hill has a lot of it, and then Walnut Creek, not uncommon, but we just want to make sure that you know, it's not super severe, and again, the disclosures will help us identify that. And then our own inspections, obviously. So that crack right there, you can see, that is a sign of, again, movement. So I'm going to just peek out here. You can see the water's coming in here. They've got, I think they're working on a drain here. You can see that drain pipe. But water's just spilling and collecting over there. And you'll learn to find, it's not completely avoidable, but water is I have a new relationship with water being in real estate now, but water destroys pretty much everything in a home. So you want to make sure there's always good drainage, and it looks like they're working on it. But you can see it's just flooding over there. So we'll go outside in a bit. So this door closes okay, but they probably have made some modifications to it. But again, you can just tell from these cracks here that there is some movement in the house. Okay, so you got your washer and dryer outside. It does look like this, you know, it's wet, so there's a leak that's happening somewhere. Again, it's a little hard right now because everything probably seems severe, but with the, you know, big storms that we've had, that's you know, every home is being impacted by it, but you know, this is just something to be aware of, that, you know, with the heavy rains, you might find, you know, places where there's leaks, but ultimately just means you can identify what needs to be addressed. Okay, so we'll go back in and now look at the the bedrooms. So we've kind of covered the living areas. These are old closets, but you got some good storage here up front. So bathroom number 1, full bathroom. Let's see. Yeah, these are not the original. I believe this is vinyl. Yeah. So this wood here is what looks like wood, similar to yours. I believe is vinyl. Okay. So this bathroom, in good condition. It's clear that the home has been taken care of, and some of that is because of the renovation. But this looks like an older countertop, so this bathroom probably need to be upgraded. These one-piece inserts for the showers, there's a leak there. These are good in the sense that it will basically trap all water, so you don't have to worry about a bathroom leak. Even though the faucet's leaking, what I mean by that is underneath. So even though these one pieces are ugly and they're old, they actually are functional and good because tiling, for example, and I know all this because of my bathroom, but when you start doing tiling and all that, that just opens up some more opportunities for leaks through the floor. So that's the one benefit of these one inserts. Let's see, yeah, shower inserts. This is kind of weird. It protrudes a little bit, but that looks like fairly new tile. Okay, so that's bathroom number 1. There's 3 bedrooms here, so why don't I end on the master, and we'll go here first to call this bedroom number 1. There's a big scratch there. This is the original hardwood here. So when you see dark spots like this, that just means at some point in the past there probably was a leak. Could also be the lighting, but it's pretty clear this is a little darker here. So it doesn't mean there's an active leak now. It just means that at some point there was probably a leak on the roof. But by now it should have been addressed. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is when you have a home this size, if you're going to have a larger living room, which it does appear to be living area, the rooms are going to be small, and this one is pretty small. So this would probably be like more of a, probably a playroom. It could be if you're stopping at Kinsley, which I understand you are. But usually you sacrifice one or the other, a lot of living space or bigger rooms. In this case, it looks like the designer or the architect did a good job evening out, because the rooms aren't terribly small. It's clear that this house is optimized for the living areas, but here, here's another room. This is room number 2, and it is again on the smaller side, but bigger than the first room. Okay, so this one will probably there's no switch light, so it's just in here, so that's why it feels a little dark. But depending on, I'm not sure where we situated in terms of direction, but this one could get light during certain parts of the day with the window coming through here. And then these are standard closet. And then this door has glass, so it's not going to be as private. So that's bedroom number 2. So this room probably isn't going to get much light because of the greenery and the plants covering. You got tree here, and a tree in the back, so this one probably won't get a lot of light. Okay. All right, and then finally the master bedroom. So this one is carpeted. It looks like fairly new carpet. It's got a wave design, which is kind of weird. Anyways, everything I've talked about on aesthetics can obviously be replaced and designed to your liking. So the masters, again, not terribly large, and that kind of speaks to, again, maximizing the square footage. They optimize it for the living areas. It's good that they have this big sliding glass door so you can get out to the back. A little patio area here, some, trees that are and vines that are wrapped around this trellis, which is kind of cool and nice. So, you know, nice view from the master. And then this bathroom has been updated. So this is nice. New tile, tiling in the shower, glass door, new vanity. So, nicely updated bathroom here, but again, not the largest master bathroom. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to try to go outside. It's raining hard, so we've gone over most of the house inside, or all of it. Now I'm just going to take this paper and put it over the camera because it'll probably be water dropping. Okay, so here you go. You see that down there? See how it's wider at the bottom of that door, sliding glass door, and then it gets narrower at the top. Again, this is just movement in the house. So that's actually pretty significant. All right, so I'll do my best here. The yard, sorry, the viewing is not good, so you can see that they got to fix that. That's just pouring down here. And actually, it's coming down pretty hard here. You know, one thing I'm noticing is that the drainage is, you can see down there, it's sloping into the house. That's not good. So that's probably where that leak was coming from. I believe that's behind the washer and dryer. So that's probably, again, the source of the leak. And the angle, as you can see in the concrete, it's sloping into the house, and that's not good at all. So they're probably working on some drainage plan or something to improve it, but that's definitely not a good thing. So you've probably already seen this, but the yard, from the pictures, the yard is awesome. It's very spacious. And you got this nice little Zen garden back here. And just a lot of outdoor space. So I know this is not designed to be a little creek, but it looks like all the water is being captured there. That makes it as such. And overall, there's got a lot of privacy. Got this little trellis area. You know, relatively low maintenance, a lot of dark bark. So you can see this is flooding down here. And then you got a side area and some grass, and then it looks like a shed back there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to walk through that grass. But this is a really nice yard, big yard. And again, feels pretty private because of the good separation between the neighbors. Alright, that's about it I'm going to do because I'm getting soaked. Let's see. Alright. So, again, this is a nice property. I think there are some issues going on in the foundation. But outside of that, I think in terms of like updating, there's not much that's needed here. You've got a good amount of living space for the square footage. Again, this is only it's about the same size as your place, 1,355 square feet. And then again, the downside is the rooms are a little bit smaller. All right, so again, I do a lot of talking, and I talk fast and walk fast. So again, you can go back through this video and go into specific rooms, pause it, look up, down, left, and right, and get a better angle of things. But as I mentioned, I do a lot of this just so that you can kind of get a sense for the home, because you can't get everything in pictures. And as I did most of the commentary, it's on the red flags of the home. Okay, thanks, Chrissy. Thanks, Kevin. Talk to you soon. Bye.